All right, what's up everybody? Welcome in. Got some orders to ship out today. Figured I'd go live again 2 days in a row because we aren't really doing much today. We got a friend over, one of the girls' friends are over. We're kind of like babysitting today, hanging out with them. So probably just gonna do a lot of around the house kind of work today, racking up the stuff for Saturday's show, and then I got a couple spreadsheets I need to work on, things like that. So we're gonna hop on live first and we're gonna ship out some orders. I got orders on eBay, Poshmark, Depop, and I got some Whatnot orders overnight too, which is pretty cool. I do have some items on the Whatnot marketplace, and 2 of them sold to the same buyer. So somebody was shopping last night and decided to hop in my store and buy a couple things, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna ship those out. I'm gonna do that order first. So appreciate everybody hopping on in. If you're watching this, make sure you like the live wherever you're watching on. What's up, Oliver? Make sure you like the live wherever you're watching. If you're watching on replay, make sure you say replay down below. I got everybody on today, including Instagram. Haven't had Instagram on one of these shipping lives in a little bit, so I figured I'd bring them along. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat as I'm shipping. This is a good time to ask questions and just hang out, and let me know if you sold anything cool yesterday too. Look for a live while I work. There you go. Let's go. Should be live for probably gonna be about 30 to 45 minutes today, so it should be a little bit longer live. Dad's doing good. He went home yesterday, so he's doing fine. He's on like a bunch of medication though, so it's like upsetting his stomach. But that's the only issue right now. So we'll take that as an issue instead of him being in the hospital. So he's doing much, much better. Appreciate you, Teach, for asking. All right, first sales. Oh, I should probably open up Whatnot before I talk about these. I think these sold for $44 if I can remember. Let me go to my shipments really quick. $44.98 is what these 2 sold for. So 2 full price sales. I moved these over from eBay to Whatnot. I had to use Vindu to do so because Nifty doesn't have Whatnot cross-listing yet. So I do have a Vindu just to do cross-listing for these. But this is a Polo Ralph Lauren, like one of the heavy knit sweaters, like heavy sweaters. And then this one is a Polo Ralph Lauren, just a basic polo shirt. Both of these sold together over on Whatnot. Shout out Gregory. Both of them sold to him for $44.98. No offers on that one, just shipping out to that buyer. So if you didn't know, Whatnot also has a marketplace. So you don't have to do live selling on Whatnot. I would say the marketplace, a lot of people don't look at it too often, but you can still make sales there, obviously. So I made these 2 sales. Looks like somebody had their $15 credit, or they were just buying for themselves and they saw we weren't live and they wanted some polo pieces. So boom, boom, sold 2 polo pieces. And because this is a priority mail package, I can literally just throw this right into this box right here, close it up and ship it out. I don't need to weigh it. They've already been pre-weighed, so I don't need to weigh it, don't need to measure it. Just throw it in the box and ship it out. What's up, Baisley? Wish for a speedy recovery. Appreciate you. He looks like he's doing better, so he should be fine. What's up, Peter? Piece of Scrap says, good morning. I like your name, Piece of Scrap. That's fine. Bobby, what's up? You thrifting this week? We will be doing live thrifting. I'm probably going to go thrifting tomorrow, although I do have to work on taxes tomorrow too. So once I get taxes done, I basically can go thrifting tomorrow. That's the rule. Kayla's taking the kids to an amusement park, so she's going to take them away for the day, and then so I have to basically get most of the taxes done, if not all of them done. That's the goal for tomorrow. Next up, Polo Ralph Lauren, another polo piece. If you guys don't know, I sell polo like crazy. That's one reason why we brought it to our shows as our first items that we're selling. First wholesale items that we're selling was Polo Ralph Lauren, and this is the reason because we sell it all the time. This is a men's Polo Ralph Lauren, just a Pima soft black polo shirt. Picked this up for $6, and this one sold for $20.25 over on Depop. Again, all I'm going to do is throw this right into a Gyropack poly bag. Easy to list, easy to ship, out the door. My only singular Depop sale yesterday was this polo. I believe it was a full price sale. Well, Nifty sent out a 10% offer, and this person accepted. So $20.25. Again, Depop doesn't have any fees, so after my cost of goods, I paid $6 for that polo, and I made a profit of $12.92. So I doubled my money on that investment. New flipper here, let's go. What's up, Festive Flipper? Welcome in. If you guys are just hanging out, so you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the chat. I go back and forth and ship out items and read questions. So if you're new here, this is the time to ask. Instead of asking on the videos, you can always ask during the lives. It's much easier for me to just talk about my answer instead of have to type it all out. So sold 3 pairs of boots yesterday. Thought we were out of boot season. I don't think we're ever out of boot season. Are we ever out of boot season, Chad? I think boots sell in the middle of summer and in the middle of winter. I don't think they're ever out of season. How'd you come up with your YouTube name? So K-Way Shop. Kayla is my wife's name. My name is Wayne. So K-Way and then shop because we shop all the time. We sell. Shop just works for everything. So that's why we put shop at the end. What's up, Ovabs? Ovabs is here. Appreciate you hopping in as always. All right, next up we got some what do you call it? Poshmark sales. I was trying to think of the word. Poshmark sales. I believe these are the 2 Poshmark. I can't read it though on my screen. I can't read it. So $68. Both of these sold together. These are 2 RLX pair of men's golf shorts. I can't tell what I paid for these because I don't have them in Nifty, but 2 brand new with tag pairs. If I had to guess, I probably paid like $15 a piece at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. That's usually where I grab these at whenever they're on deep clearance. And these sold for $68. They sold in a bundle on Posh, so I took a little bit of a lower offer, gave that person a deal, and moved both of these at the same time. So I've had an international return on eBay. They paid for it, but didn't tell me why it returned. Is that typical for them to pay? Never had this happen. Do you do Obabs? Do you do eBay's international shipping program, or do you ship internationally yourself? Is it you shipping, or are you shipping through the international shipping program? You have videos on how to properly measure pants for listing, specifically the AC. If you watch my Gyps, if you watch my jean bolo video, during that video I actually show how I measure jeans on one of the listings. So if you go watch that video, about halfway through I do that, but I'll show it right here really quick too. Very confused about international shipping on eBay. Can you share some advice? I do the eBay international shipping program. With the eBay international shipping program, basically when you ship the item, no matter what issue there is, usually eBay takes care of it for you. That's why you're on the international shipping program. That's why I asked you, Obebs. So there must have been some error that you did, like it was a sizing error or something like that, because usually they don't accept returns. If there's any issue, eBay usually takes care of it for you. So I'd reach out to eBay and see exactly what the issue is. But basically, if you sell an item through the eBay international shipping program, let's say it's a dishware set, and on the way from the actual hub, so you ship it to an eBay hub, from there they ship it overseas for you. If it breaks on the way overseas, they will cover all costs. They will not take any money from you. So I'm actually really surprised that they're allowing a return for that. So it must have been something with like a sizing issue, or there's something wrong in your listing that the buyer is allowed to return that item. They're gonna have to pay an arm and a leg to get it back to you too, because shipping overseas is not cheap, especially through their eBay international shipping program. I do think it goes back to the hub first though, Obab. So if there's anything wrong with it, then they'll cover you. So if they, for some reason, they're not shipping back the right item, or it's damaged or whatever, they do check it, and yeah, they won't allow them to send it back. I sold fur trim Uggs yesterday. It's less seasonal. Yep, Uggs sell all year round. There's like really a lot of hype around Uggs right now. What's a cost-effective cross-listing tool for not full-time reseller? If you want to cross-post, I use Nifty. There's other ones that are cheaper, but I will say the other ones that are cheaper are not as good, because you're not paying for ones that are as good as Nifty. But with Nifty to cross-list, it's $40 a month. So just think, if you have 100 items listed, if you're able to cross-list those for $40, if you make an extra $40 in sales on those other platforms, then Nifty covers itself. So that's the one that I use. And of course, if you use my link, you get 15% off your first month, and there's a 7-day free trial. So feel free to use it. I usually put it in the chat. I'll throw it in the chat again. It's also in the description of the video too, so if you want to look at that. But here is my affiliate link. Feel free to use that and give it a try for 7 days. If you like it, cool. If not, you can go to one of the other ones, but again, they're not as good. That's why they're cheaper. Boom, boom. Go back to my page. No problem. Appreciate the question. Have you ever overbought? What do you mean by that? Like overbought stuff to list? Like had too much stuff to list? I don't think you can ever overbuy. I always have enough money in my bank account to pay my bills, so I'll keep buying. If I find good deals, I will keep buying. Like right now, if I came across a good deal for like 3,000 pieces of clothing, I would still buy 3,000 pieces of clothing, even though I have tons to list. Part-time reseller, I use Nifty because it's so much quicker, less frustrated. There you go. Stephanie's in the chat giving her advice on Nifty. When we were 21, we were wearing Uggs year-round. Wasn't so popular back in the day on a surf thing. Nice. Yeah, they're super popular now, especially I think they're called the Talisman or something like that. Talismans or whatever. They have that little trim going around them. Those are like super popular right now. Do you have any cool jerseys? Surf sent me this. Where is it? Where's that piece of garbage? Oh my gosh. Chat, what do I do with this? Do I burn this? It is getting kind of cold outside. We do need some stuff for the fire pit. And Surf sent me this. I don't even want to open it. I don't want to scare off my viewership right now. I might go down in viewers, but he sent me this disgusting jersey. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna throw it away. It's definitely getting thrown away. I'm not selling this. I might give it away on a whatnot show, but I am not. I'm not keeping this thing in my house. I might actually put it outside and just hang it up somewhere outside because I don't need that thing in my house. And if you respond very quickly, yes. And they did fix the issue yesterday. I was trying to cross list yesterday. I guess they were down for maintenance for like overnight and into the morning. So if you were watching yesterday and you couldn't see the cross list, I guess I can do it at the end of the show if you or end of the live if you want me to do that. Good ratio to have between actives and solds. It depends on what you sell. It depends on your buy cost. If there's people out there that only have 10 items listed and have 1,000 items sold because they literally just keep selling. They have a replenishable that just keeps selling over and over. Their profit on each unit is super low, but they're able to sell volume of that unit. So it really depends on your business model. If you're doing a lot of thrifted stuff, I think selling 50% of your inventory every 90 days is perfectly fine. If you have like 1,000 item store, then you're selling 500 units every 90 days. That's perfect. Yeah, I'm selling that. I'm not selling that. I'm throwing it away. Throwing it away, Surfs. You should have sold it. International shipping bit. Do you prepackage away? So with international eBay international shipping program, you literally just ship it the same way you ship locally. Ship it within United States. What they do is they have two hubs within the. I believe it's two hubs. Two hubs. They call them the eBay international shipping hubs. You ship your items to them, and then they ship them overseas for you. It's a service that eBay provides. It doesn't cost you any extra money. The buyer pays shipping to the hub, and they pay shipping from the hub to them. And then they get all the customer care, and you get all the seller care. So you don't have to worry about that item like getting lost in transit, getting damaged in transit, any of that. They take care of all that for you. So it's easy to sign up. It's within your settings on eBay that you sign up for the eBay International Shipping Program. Once you're in it, then all your listings are in it. And then basically once you sell an item, goes to their hub and then goes to the person's house from there, goes overseas. So I would highly suggest signing up for it. There is, again, no costs. If your item gets damaged in transit, they don't take any money away from you. They cover it on their end. So yeah, you don't have to worry about anything. Highly suggest it. I'll help rid your home of such paraphernalia. Angel, I'm probably gonna give it away on a whatnot show. I'm not selling that thing. He wants me to sell it and make money. The reason he wants me to do it is because he wants me to sell it and make money, and then he's gonna be like, "See, I told you the Colts are better than the Titans. You haven't sold any Titans gear this year, so I have to get rid of it. I literally can't sell it even if I wanted to, because then I'll hear about it for the next year. I don't want to hear from him. I really don't." All right, next sale. Vineyard Vines men's red sailboat tie. I actually sold 2 Vineyard Vines ties yesterday. This one I picked up. I think I paid like $2 or $3 for this locally at a thrift store, and this one sold for $18 over on Posh. I know this looks weird, but I am gonna take this and throw this into one of these because on Poshmark everything's priority mail. So I'm not gonna use one of my own mailers. I'd rather use a postal mailer. Why do most resellers fail in your opinion? That's a good question. I don't think, well, let me say this. I don't think most resellers fail. I think everybody has their own goals, and some people's goals are only to sell $100 worth of stuff every month, and then other people's goals are sell $100,000 worth of stuff every month. So really just depends on your goals. The people who do fail, I would say they don't have their goals set up properly. There's a couple reasons. They didn't have their goals set up properly. They didn't research enough into the business that they're doing. They didn't listen to the people that are trying to teach them for free. Or they're trying to mimic a business that, like, for example, if you live in a part of a country where thrift stores aren't good, but you're trying to go to thrift stores and buy the same stuff I'm buying, you're probably going to fail because you're going to have to work a lot harder than I do to find those items. Whereas if you just went for something else, like if there's a, I don't know, if there's a junkyard near you that has really, really good car parts that's not picked over by resellers, instead of selling clothing, you should have sold car parts. So I think a lot of people need to focus on that, focus on what they can find that's readily available in their area. Also, I think there's a lot of resellers out there that, patience too. Patience is good. I think there's a lot of resellers out there that don't know how to look up items. I literally had a conversation with somebody in my comments yesterday. Well, I didn't have a conversation. I commented back and they never responded. But if you remember that video that I was doing that thrifting with my glasses and I was just going through that vintage rack, I skipped over a True Religion women's hoodie. You wouldn't believe how many people commented on that video. You passed over True Religion, bro. Why did you pass over True Religion? Why didn't you pick that up? That's a grail. Like somebody literally told me that was a grail yesterday. So I went on eBay and I looked up True Religion women's red hoodies or True Religion women's red jackets, and I just scrolled through. There's 140 listed and 17 sold. That exact same jacket that was at the thrift store, I think it was $8 for that jacket, sold back in December on the December 29th for $22.44 or something like that. It was like right around $22. So somebody said that's a grail. That's literally like, a grail is like something you're always looking for. It's like a high-end piece, and it's literally a $22 item that sells every like 90 days once. It's like, that's not a grail. So they're just assuming something has value, and they're not really doing the research. And I think that's a big thing too, is a lot of people don't do research on their items. It took me less than 5 minutes to research that item and figure out that that is not a grail. It's not even close. It's a $22 item. You pay $8 for it. You sit on it for 90 days to 180 days. You sell it, and you make literally like $12. How in the world is that a grail? That makes no sense. And then when I post something like I find an Olabar Brown polo, people are like, I never picked that up. It's like, why? It's an $80 polo. I just sold a pair of shorts yesterday for like $70. Like, that's a grail to me. That's something that's you pick up for $6 and sell for $80. I'll do that all day. But I would need to do calculated shipping. No, you can do calculated. You can do flat rate with the eBay International Shipping Program. The buyer is paying to ship it to the hub and then overseas. It doesn't matter what shipping you use domestically. They're going to pay that, or if you get free shipping, then you got to pay it to the hub. But then after that, they pay it from the hub overseas. So it doesn't matter what domestic shipping you use. They just buy it the same way somebody domestically would buy it. Volume serves. You guys give great advice, help resellers like myself. Do you guys cross list the Facebook Marketplace? I don't think Surfs does. I know I don't. I used to cross list when I used to have list perfectly cross list over to Facebook, but Facebook just died for me. Like the sales just absolutely died over there. By the way, Instagram, if you guys are commenting for some reason, it's not coming through. So I apologize. I don't have any comments down here. So I apologize. If you guys want to comment, hop over to Facebook or YouTube because I don't see anything over here. But yeah, I used to cross list over there. I don't cross list there anymore because there was a season where Facebook Marketplace was really, really good. I was having sale after sale. Their fees were like 5%. I was like, this is amazing. I hope everything sells on Facebook Marketplace. And then all of a sudden it just died and I wasn't getting any sales. So yeah. What's up, Skittles? Will a Wilson leather jacket sell right now? Yes, I think jackets and shorts and short sleeves and long sleeves and everything is selling right now because in the morning it's cold here, and in the afternoon it's hot, and then at night it's cold again. Up north, I know it's cold up north, so people are still buying jackets up north, and they're also people down south, like where we are buying short sleeves and getting ready for summertime. So this is the perfect time of year to sell everything. Literally just list everything that you get. If you have time to list it, list it. And women's clothing, what was the first place you and your wife will go to? Activewear. Kayla goes to the activewear, I believe. I think she goes to like the leggings and the jeans, like the bottoms is where she goes. That's usually where I went to when I was thrifting. I didn't know anything but jeans when I started with women's clothing, but she'll do everything now. But I think I want to say she starts leggings first, is where she starts in, because she just likes thrifting leggings for herself and for resale. Yeah, just put in the box dimensions or the dimensions of the poly bag that you're shipping in, Festive Flipper, and yeah, they pay locally, and then from there they also pay. So if you give free shipping, they get free shipping to the hub, but then they have to pay shipping from the hub overseas, is how that works. But yeah, Wilson's jacket will sell right now. Will sell right now. All right, let's ship out the next item. Did she grab these? Yours? I don't think she did. Unreal? Oh, these are these right here. Never mind. I got it. Vuori. This is a women's Vuori tank. I think you guys saw this either in a video or a post. I can't remember. Kayla found this. This is a women's Vuori Elevation extra small tank top. We pick up anything Vuori because anything Vuori sells. We paid $5.33. Again, this is a women's extra small and it's still sold on Poshmark for 25 bucks. Again, we're gonna, even though this is lightweight, this is gonna go in one of these because Poshmark gives you priority mail labels. Appreciate the question, Festive. Less than 5 to 10 items a day. When do you think I might start seeing more consistent sales? Any way to predict? I think Ariel, I don't think consistently listing helps, but you need to be consistently listing good resellable items that have, you know, good sell-through rates. If you're listing, let's say you list a bunch of Gap. If I listed 10 items of Gap every single day, I wouldn't expect me to have consistent sales because Gap doesn't really sell consistently. It's not a brand that, you know, sells very well. So I think more so if I were picking up items that had 100% sell-through rate and I was only listing 3 items a day and you're listing items that have 10% sell-through rates and you're listing 20 items per day, I would still outsell you because I'm listing items that are consistently selling over and over and over again. That's what you need to focus on, is looking up how many are listed versus how many are sold. Then once you get a rhythm of it, you start figuring out what brands are selling really well for you. Then you don't really have to look them up anymore. You can go to thrift stores and buy items. That's when you see me going through the racks and just pulling stuff out. It's because I've already consistently sold those brands. But when you first start, you really need to focus on that. For eBay chat, the eBay National Shipping Program, you can return for any reason. eBay gave them an automatic return label. They said the polybag, they said it was polyester. The tag clearly said silk. So yeah, that was an error on your part. That's why they're allowed to return it. If you put any misinformation in your listing, if you didn't give the right measurements, anything at all, if it was a discrepancy, it would be item not as described, and that's why they're allowed to return that OVABs. If it was for something like fit issue or the item arrived damaged, then you would have been covered. But because you said something incorrect in your listing, that's why they're allowed to return it, unfortunately. I have a 1940s wool line deck coat. Current offer. I have a current offer of $2,000. Holy cow! Do you know of anyone who may have more info? I have no clue. That is a crazy good offer, though. What'd you pay for that? ACC, like a 1940s, $2,000. If you did some research and you priced it high, you didn't pay that much for it. That's an offer I'd probably accept. Even if I'd sell it lower than it probably could have sold for, I'd probably accept that offer. That's crazy. $2,000. You have to let me know. You have to follow up with how that goes. That's insane. Are there any countries that you do not ship? I think I omitted Russia a while back, and I have one other. I forget the other one I have omitted, but I omitted Russia when everything was going on and you weren't allowed to ship to Russia, so I just took that off. That's the only one I have. That one in another country, I think. I can't remember the other one though. How do you list sealed new in box items but very, very old? You can list those as new other, and then in the description of new other, you can say, hey, this is a really old item. Obviously vintage, I would not suggest opening this or whatever. This is more of a collectible item. So list them as new other, and then you can give your little condition description. Just handles a return for us. Yeah, I've actually never had a return opened for any reason on eBay International Shipping Program. So I'm surprised it actually went through. Everything said silk, could just automatically refund. Okay, got you. That's weird. Maybe they're changing the rules with it, but I've never had a return with that. And I've always been told as long as the item is delivered, described, then eBay will handle the return for you. But usually they just refund the customer. You never even get it back. So maybe they're just giving it back to you. I don't know. I recently thrifted a Trap Ralph Lauren collaboration navies men's sport coat, mint condition, made in Canada, having trouble finding comps. Chaps Ralph Lauren usually is a pass for me. Yeah, Chaps Ralph Lauren. There's certain sizes that'll sell well, but usually that sell well is like 35 bucks. So I would just try to find similar comps, something that looks like yours. But again, I usually pass by those. For sell-through rate, what was the most notable research method? Terapeak? No, I just look up eBay sold comps. So if I'm looking up men's Unreal joggers, let's look these up right now. I'll show you guys how I look this up. Boom, boom, boom. Unreal men's joggers. Just type this in on eBay. If you're watching on Instagram, go to the other platforms. There's currently 96 listed. Let's see how many pre-owned are listed. Let's go pre-owned. Where are they at? There's a condition. 55 currently listed in pre-owned condition. Unreal men's joggers. 55 listed. Let's go to sold. Boom, there's 144 sold, which means this is almost a 300% sell-through rate item. You would always pick this up. As long as it's priced appropriately, you would always pick this up because they're going to sell really fast. And that's what happened with these. And that's how you look them up. 144 currently sold again, and then you click off sold, and then you come back, and you'll see there's 55 currently listed. You can do that on your phone too. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that on the computer. Same thing on your phone. You're going to go and you're going to see how many are listed. It's going to say 100, or it's going to say 55 listed on your phone. You're going to filter for sold, and it's going to say 144. And that's why they sold very, very fast. And we literally just listed these like a week or two ago. But these sold on Poshmark. They didn't sell on eBay. Unreal Men's Joggers, picked these up for $8.56, and these sold for 40 buckaroos. So nice little sale right there. But yeah, that's how you look up. That's how you look up solds. Super fast. Very cheap. I'm seeing values of 2,000 to 800 or 8,000. Man, if you bought it cheap, maybe you counter, but maybe you don't. Like, that's one of those pieces that if you countered and you don't get another offer for like 6 months, and you're like, damn, I should have accepted that $2,000 offer. If you bought it cheap enough, my motto is just take that offer and move on. I think that's a good offer. Hey, if the person buys it and sells it for $4,000, you still made a good amount of money. So yeah, I would take it if I were you. That's a pretty sick offer. $2,000 is $2,000 and you didn't pay much for it is crazy. Not a clothing question, but if you have an item, let's say it's a box and you want to take it. Let's say it's in a box and you want to take it out so the buyer can see everything they're getting, and they can't say something wasn't in there and you lost an open new box. Explain it why it was open. I know it's silly. So if it's brand new in the box condition, and if you open it up and it devalues the item now, I'm going to keep it in the box. I'm not going to worry too much about what ifs. I'm going to worry about making sure I ship a brand new item to my customer and not open it up. Because then if you open it up, then they can also say like, hey, there was an item missing. Clearly it's opened. It's not brand new. So it can go both ways. It can go the opposite way that you're thinking too. So I would just sell it. And if something happens where the buyer complains about it, accept the return, but make sure you take nice photos, take all the angles of the box, everything like that, so they can see that the item was completely sealed before it was shipped out to them. Calvin Klein is a good buy. What type of items would be good? I don't pick up anything Calvin Klein except for leather jackets. There's probably like one or two other pieces that are worth it, but 99.9% of Calvin Klein is not worth picking up. It's not. Even in new tag condition, it's like good items to sell on like Whatnot. Like if you're connecting yourself with the specific buyer that likes Calvin Klein, then yes. But if you're listing on eBay, I would say no. There's a lot of brands that I would probably be okay selling on Whatnot, brand new with tag condition, but not on eBay because they'll sit forever. So if I'm getting it cheap enough, I'll just move it quickly on Whatnot. But Calvin Klein usually is a pass. For sure, I'm pondering it. I would too. That would be a hard one because obviously you want to make the full money, but if you didn't pay that much for it, man, $2,000 offer is crazy good. That's good money. That's a mortgage payment right there in some places. So I would consider it for sure. All right, lots of eBay orders going out. We got 10 orders shipping out. So first one is this men's polo, Ralph Lauren polo. Really nice print to this. We got this at TJ Maxx a couple months ago. Paid $22 for this, and this one sold for full price $64.99. This was a 2XLT, so it was a big and tall size. So that definitely helped it get a little bit more. I sat on this one for a while. I thought for sure that this one would sell really fast based off the print. But hey, it's turning into that springtime months, and people are looking for polos just like this. So nice little sale right there. Do you ship to China? eBay International Shipping Program, yes. If China is available to be shipped to, because some places aren't through the International Shipping Program, I think China is. So as long as they are, yes, I do ship there. Because if for any reason my item was messed up, then I will get my full money back. So I'm cool with it. Take that 2K offer. I did that on $12. I did that with an item. I paid $12 and sold it for $1,500. Yeah, that's like, yeah, it's hard. Like, obviously you're thinking like, man, what if this is an $8,000 item? But what if it's only a $2,000 item and you just found your customer that wants to pay $2,000 for it? So do a little bit more research, figure out if it's actually worth more. If there's actually one selling, you can go to Terapeak on eBay and figure out, you can see where other ones have sold for in the past. But yeah, that's a very, very, very tempting offer. Next up, Eileen Fisher. This is a women's Eileen Fisher 100% linen cardigan, size medium. Kayla paid $3.19 for this, and this one sold for $22.50. Why do you use flat rate for some items and poly bags for others? Nothing I shipped today was flat rate. The poly bags, the white ones, the post office ones, those are Tyvek envelopes. Those go by weight, not flat rate. The flat rate ones you're thinking of are padded flat rate envelopes or flat rate envelopes. The only time I use those is when I ship on Poshmark. So Poshmark gives you priority mail labels. So with those, you can ship in any priority mail bags. And you can also ship in flat rate boxes too, in flat rate bags. So with Poshmark, you'll see me using these. Also with Whatnot, you'll also see me using the priority mail packages because they have the same deal with the post office. Whereas when I ship with eBay, the cheapest way to ship for my customers is going to usually be Ground Advantage. And with Ground Advantage, you have to use your own poly bags and your own boxes. So that's why you see me using these. Good question though. I get that question almost every time. I got it twice yesterday in my DMs. I posted in my stories my package stack outside, and I had two people reach out and say, how are you shipping so cheap with priority mail packaging, like that stuff right there? How are you shipping cheap with that? It doesn't make sense. I can't get cheap labels. And again, Poshmark and Whatnot have a deal with the post office that anything within a 5 pound, between 1 and 5 pounds, ships priority, and you can use any priority mail packaging on Poshmark. On Whatnot, you're not really supposed to use the flat rate packaging, so keep that in mind. You should use flat rate packaging with flat rate labels, but I do see people get away with it all the time. But with Poshmark, you can use any of them. It doesn't matter. Next up, let's ship out another Vineyard Vines men's tie. These are selling really well right now. Paid $6.96, and this one sold for $24.99. I want to share my product photo with you guys for this one. So people always ask, like, how do ties sell well for me? I can't sell a tie, yada, yada, yada. This is why we get ties to sell very well, is because of our product photos. That's my cover photo right there. These photos, I don't really care what they look like. That's just to show the buyer what it's, the tag photos. But that's the photo that brings the customer into my listing and makes my item sell for $24.99 as opposed to, $15 where people are usually getting. So really easy to take those photos. I just use Photo Room to clean up the background a little bit. It takes me like 5-10 seconds to get that done, but makes it look really, really good. Makes my items pop. So make sure you're taking the best quality photos you can possibly take with your items. It definitely helps them sell. That one's going to go into a Gyropack poly bag. Again, eBay sale, so these are going to go Ground Advantage, obviously. And buyer paid $6.20 for shipping, and I'm probably going to pay a lot less than that. Let's see. This is a 3-ounce package, so I'm going to put that in at 3 ounces. $4.08 is what I'm paying. Best way to keep track of inventory for a new reseller: between 100 to 200 items. So last year I was using Jason Hayes' spreadsheet. Jason Hayes' spreadsheet has an inventory function in it where you can put in all your inventory, and as soon as you make a sale, you move it over to your solds. It calculates all your sales, calculates your profit and loss for you. It has a bunch of information you can put in. So if you're interested in that spreadsheet, he does sell it. That's another reseller that sells it, and I have it linked in my bio with a discount code. Nowadays, I just use Nifty. So Nifty downloads all of my information right into it as soon as I make a sale. That's actually what I'm reading my sales off of right now. So you can see right here, the Unreal men's pants right here, paid $8.56 for them. $40 was my sale price. It automatically puts in my fees for Poshmark, put in my cost of goods, and it shows that I made a $23 profit. And then if I go to my inventory function, it has all my items inventoried right here. Obviously, I haven't cross-listed these, but everything is inventoried within the inventory manager. It's always in there. As soon as I make a sale, it goes to the sold function, so you can see all of these items are sold. And again, from there, it goes into my analytics page. But that's what I use now to keep track of my inventory, is actually the inventory manager within Nifty. If you're interested in that, again, there's a link in the video above where you just commented, or it's always in my bios on any of my platforms. Free 7-day trial. Use Photo Room only for ties and no, just for ties. I don't use it for clothing because we use a light box. So maybe in the future when we take down the light box and move, I might get rid of that. But for now, I'm not going to use it, because when we take photos of our shirts, like this shirt right here, there's no Photo Room added to this shirt at all, 0. This is all photos done by mom right here. So that's my cover photo, full front, full back, tag photo, tag photo. The only photo I care about really making it pop is this front photo right here. And again, no editing at all to that. That was taken from an old iPhone too. I don't even use a new iPhone to take those photos. So you can get nice quality photos, really, really nice quality photos. Again, if you're watching on Instagram, for some reason my comments aren't coming through, so feel free to hop over to Facebook or YouTube and ask your questions. For some reason I can't see any over here today. How do you figure out your shipping rates? I do calculated shipping. Calculated shipping on eBay. So for example, let's do that Ralph Lauren shirt. I paid $10.43 for this. The reason I paid up for this is because it's a performance. These always sell really fast, and this one did for $27.99. When I list this, what I suggest you to do, Festive Flipper, is you list the item, you put in the packaging that you're going to ship it in. So for example, you would take this, stick this into one of these, and you would put it on your scale, and you'd weigh it and measure it. And then what you do is you put that into your listing, and you charge it to your customer as calculated shipping, and you'll never make a mistake. So this package right here is 9 by 11 by 2, and it weighs 7 ounces. So what I would suggest you do until you learn about how much each item weighs, pretty much once you learn, you can just hold up an item and be like, all right, this is about 10 ounces. I'll put that into my listing. But this item, 7 ounces, 11 by 9 by 2, put that into your listing, charge it to your customer as calculated. Your customer will pay $7.15 about that, and I only pay $4.62. So you can't make a mistake if you've done all the work beforehand. And then you could just seal this up and put in your inventory with an inventory number on the front, and then as soon as it sells, you just grab it and slap the label on it. What do you do with inventory that doesn't sell? Typically all my inventory sells. I sell roughly, well, I'm selling more than that now, but last year is like 50% of my inventory sold every 90 days. So every like 180 days I'd have 100% turnover. But now with Whatnot, if I wanted to sell my entire inventory right now, I could literally fire up a show. It'd probably take me like 2 or 3 shows. I could sell off all my inventory in the garage. So I don't do like liquidation sales like that usually, but that's just an example. Like using Whatnot, I can get rid of everything. Everything that's not selling if I wanted to. I could load it up for $1 and just move it. But as long as you're picking up good stuff, you don't really have to worry about that. Do you pay to have an eBay store? Yes, I do have an eBay store because I have over the 250 listings, so it makes sense to have an eBay store instead of being charged for the insertion fees every single month to have all those listings. How do you pay less for shipping than your customer paid for calculated shipping? It's because eBay gives you the discounted shipping rates. They give you the, what is the word for it? They give the customer retail rates, and they give you commercial rates as an eBay seller. So you get the discounted rates that eBay has negotiated with the post office, where the customer pays the retail rates. You can opt to have your customers pay the discounted rates if you want to, but I tried that. I didn't see an increase in sales. I actually saw a decrease in profit, so I just went back to the old way. So that's how you get that. I have about 200 items in eBay store right now. I probably should have done calculated shipping from the beginning. Yeah, you can do flat rate if you want. I know a lot of people use flat rate. I just choose to use calculated. I feel like it's easier. As long as you put in the right information, you'll never make a mistake. Next up, vineyard vines. These are selling really well right now. This is like the perfect time of year to list your vineyard vine stuff. If you have any, pick this up locally in a bulk buy. I think I paid right around $6 to $8 for this, and it sold for $20.70. That is a nifty sale. Nifty sent out a 10% out offer, and this person accepted. So nice little sale right there. So if you have vineyard vines, it's like perfect Easter style shirts. Like this is a perfect Easter colorway right here. Get them listed because they're going to be moving over the next month or so. They're going to be moving really, really well. So you want to capitalize on that right now, because if you don't, then you're going to be stuck with those items for a little bit. All right, that one sold. Buyer paid $7 for shipping. I'm only again paying $4.52 to ship that item out. So made a little on shipping, which cover my fees a little bit. Appreciate all the questions too. We've had lots of questions in the chat. I love a good like energetic live chat that's like question after question, because it keeps me busy too while I'm shipping. I can just go back and forth with you guys, so I appreciate it. And never mind, I was gonna say something else, but I'm not going to. Appreciate you guys. That's all I have to say. Next up, we got a Marine Layer t-shirt. I picked this up for $4 locally in a bulk buy. Typically on Tuesday mornings, I go do a bulk buy. This week we didn't get a chance to, so next week I'm going to do it with the same guy I do multiple times every single Tuesday. Paid $4 for this Marine Layer. It's a basic Marine Layer shirt, nothing too crazy. This one sold for $16.20. Again, that is a nifty sale. I send out a 10% offer via Nifty, and this person accepted. So nice little basic bread and butter piece. Not going to make you rich, but it does pay the bills. And that's what you need to do. I know a lot of people, I get a lot of comments all the time like, hey, you're picking up too low-end stuff. Doesn't make sense, but the low-end stuff is what continuously sells. That's what's going to pay your bills, not so much the heavy hitters. Because if you're going to the thrift store only looking for heavy hitters, there's going to be a lot of times you're walking out empty-handed with nothing in your hands because you're only looking for the heavy hitter stuff. Your shipping rates in the States are amazing. Yeah, when you're in Canada, I've heard this from Canadians too. Yeah, your shipping rates there are kind of crazy. Really crazy. You can still make it work, but just know that your shipping rates are crazy. Any tips on speeding up listing time? I spend a lot of time looking for an exact item that's sold. So a lot of times, like for example, that Vineyard Vine shirt or that Marine Layer shirt, I'm not going to find the exact same sold. I'm going to look for Marine Layer t-shirts, and I'm going to see what other t-shirts in Marine Layer are selling for. If it's not like a collab or anything like that, you shouldn't be looking for the exact shirt when it comes to Marine Layer, when it comes to Vineyard Vines. A Vineyard Vines plaid Murray shirt. Type in Vineyard Vines plaid Murray shirt, see what other ones are selling for, and then price against those. You don't have to find the exact one. That's what I would suggest you do. If you have something rare like that navy coat that person said they had a $2,000 offer on, that's something that you do deep research on. But the other stuff you don't really need to. Like for example, we just looked up Unreal men's joggers. I didn't look for the exact color, the exact size, the exact same everything with my piece. I just looked at other men's Unreal joggers. I saw they were selling between $35 to $50, so I priced mine at $50. I got a $40 offer and I accepted, but I didn't have to look for the exact same one. I don't think that's needed every single time. There are occasions where it is, but not for basic pieces. I wouldn't do that. Like for example, an Aloe hoodie. Full zip hoodie. Just type in Aloe full zip hoodie. You'll find a similar comp, and that's what you should use. This one we paid $9.36 for. We literally just listed this last week. That's why we paid up a little bit for it, because it sold for 25 bucks. Easy peasy, in and out the door, little bread and butter piece. I know you made another video about jeans, but could you quickly share some jean bolos? The jean bolo video, go watch that one. But some jean bolos, some bread and butter jean bolos. I shared in that video men's Rock Revival jeans. I think those are bread and butter jean bolos. You don't find them too often, so I can't really say bread and butter, but they are good jean bolos to look for. What are some other ones? BKE men's jeans, not women's, men's jeans. They're really good to look out for, especially bigger sizes. They'll sell really well. Some jean brands that I pick up consistently, that sell consistently for me, stuff like Hudson men's jeans. Again, not women's, Hudson men's jeans. Those sell really well for me. I usually get right around $25 to $30. I pick them up for $5, sometimes $10 depending on the size, and sell them for right around that price. What are some other ones? Chat, if you have some jean bolos, drop them in the chat and I'll read them off. What are some other ones? Mother women's jeans, of course. Mother jeans are a good women's pair to look for. I'm trying to think of some women's. There's like 4 or 5 for you. So many questions answered during your shipping sessions. Love it. Yeah, appreciate it. It's much easier for me to answer questions here. That's why I like doing these lives, because you got like in-person answers. I don't have to sit there and type it out. You don't get confused. I've been doing these lives for like 2.5 years now, so I've been hit with lots of questions, and most of them have already been asked at least once or twice, so I always have an answer like super fast for them. So Shack Fancy, I've actually never heard of that one. There's Shack Fancy. That's a jean bolo right there for you. Never heard of that one. That sounds like a women's. That's probably why I've never heard of it. Caleb probably did though. Men's Ralph Lauren solid white dress shirt, just a common everyday solid white dress shirt. Paid $9.60 for this one. I think it had a small little flaw on it somewhere, so I didn't list this. I usually list these for $27 to $30, so I listed this a little bit lower and accepted an offer of $22.50 for it. So a nice little sale right there. Again, if it was flawless, I would have asked a little bit higher price. I think there was like a little stain on the cuff or something like that. Shack Fancy. That one's going to go in a poly bag. Still made a profit on it, but obviously I wouldn't have paid up $9.60 for something to sell it for $22. Usually I'm trying to get 30 plus for something like that. Then I'm right around that $10 buy cost on. This one I underestimated shipping, so this one I put in 10 ounces of shipping, but even with that underestimation, buyer paid $6.95 and I'm only paying $5.94. Oh, love Shack Fancy, sorry. Love Shack, oh, I thought you meant love Shack Fancy, got you. Kasubi jeans, yes, those are good. Good ones to look for. Modern Pendleton items move slow versus vintage. Is it worth picking up? So with Pendleton, what I would suggest is picking up mostly the flannels or like the heavy wool jackets. With Pendleton, it's like wool items usually sell a lot better. Sometimes you can find a leather Pendleton item that'll do good. But if you're picking up like cotton shirts, I would usually pass on those, even if they're older, they're not going to sell as well. So with Pendleton, you're really looking for wool. You're looking for flannels, especially the ones with the leather patches on the sleeve, or there's ones with loop collars right here. It has a loop right here. Put loop collar in your listing, and that item will usually sell for $70 plus. If you get that in a big and tall size, you're looking at over $100. So a little loop collar, 100% wool pieces. Vintage labels will sell better. Just make sure when you're picking up vintage pieces that you're looking them over thoroughly, because a lot of them have holes all throughout them. So make sure you're looking that up, because they're old pieces. All it takes is one guy to hang up his flannel in his closet, not pay attention to the moths that are in his closet, and then you got holes all through your piece. So. Do you ever just buy a shirt because you like the look or style of it, even though it might not be high demand shirt? Not really. I kind of, no, not really. I see a lot of people nowadays, especially Depop sellers, that are buying vintage shirts because they look cool and they're not really doing any research on them. I highly suggest not to do that, because then you get stuck with a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't sell in your store because you think it looks cool. It's not about what you think looks cool. It's about what the buyers out there think looks cool. And that's, you look up sell through and you're looking at what's actually selling. If buyers are picking it up and it's actually selling, then it's cool to them. Like, for example, I don't wear a lot of the bright colored shirts that I pick up. I would never be caught dead in them. Like, I'm wearing stuff like this, like basic t-shirts that don't really sell very well. But other buyers out there are buying those shirts. I'm buying for my customer, not for myself. So that's what I would suggest. Focus on your customer, not what you like. Is there a spreadsheet of some sort that you are using to keep your inventory that you could share? Yeah, Jason Hayes. I answered this a little earlier, Jan. Last year I used Jason Hayes' spreadsheet. That is linked in my bio with a discount code. But this year I'm using All Nifty to keep track of all my inventory. So if you go over to Nifty, this is all my inventory. In Nifty is right here. It has all of my information off to the left hand side. This stuff was all just brought over, so I'll go to this side. Shows me where all my inventory is, shows me my buy cost, and again, when I make a sale, it gets dropped right into the analytics, which is right here. All of my sales data is going to be right here. Again, all my inventory with my SKU is shown, and then it shows me my insights, all that stuff. So this is what I use this year. Last year I used a spreadsheet. This year I let Nifty take care of all this for me. All that information gets downloaded as soon as a sale is made. Super easy to do. Best golf brands pickup? I'll say one. I always say this one, Rowback and Unreal. Unreal is like really good too, and I just figured out that brand this year. UNLRRHOBACK. Those two brands right there are good ones. I found 3 Outerknown blanket shirts in a row at Goodwill. Sold overnight. Outerknown, good brand too. Outerknown, especially Outerknown jeans. There's another jean brand to look for. Love Shack Fancy. Yes, I said Shack Fancy. I thought they meant Love Shack Fancy. But Love Shack Fancy, yeah. I know that brand. I have a suit jacket I believe was custom made for somebody. Label reads Super 150 wool cashmere. Buttons on the sleeve. Do these sell? They could, but if there's no brand on it, I would have usually not picked those up, because they're Super 150s is like, it's in many suits, so it's not like that's something super special. If you're not the lead dog, the view never changes. If you're not the lead, it says on the front, it says if you're not the lead dog, enjoy the view or something like that. Crap, do I take this call? I can't take the call. Might be the post office calling me. Hang on. Let me see who this is. Hello? Hello? Yes. Oh my God, I hate when I get those calls every single day. Hey, I want to buy your house. No, my house is not for sale right now. All right, you guys should be good back over there. I think it's okay. Now we're good. hate those calls. I'm waiting for a call from the post office. I know it's going to come from a 1-800 number, so that's why I had to answer that. Definitely be careful with wools, cashmere, silk. Lights holds. Yes, always hold it up to the lights in the thrift store. That's a good thing, Carolyn. Always hold it up to the lights because the lights will show through. Always look inside the piece too. If you can open up the piece and look into it, you can usually see if there's any flaws or flaws within those pieces. Do you sell back to the thrift stores like Crossroads? No, I don't. I don't do that because typically they don't offer enough. One day I would like to own one of those stores though. I've sold some nice Outer Known blanket shirts for $50. Yes, they're good. Outer Known is a really, really, really good brand to look out for. All right, let's ship out these last two before I get a call from the post office. I'm dealing with them still not scanning my packages on days off. When my main carrier has his day off, they like to only scan in 5 packages. So I made sure I did a formal complaint with the post office. And now they're going back and forth with the office trying to figure out if there's actually a rule that states they have to only scan 5 packages, which I know there isn't. So they're trying to scramble to figure out where that rule is, and they'll never find it. That's basically what I'm dealing with. Anyways, Vineyard Vines Performance Shirt. There's a men's size 2XL. We literally just listed this within the last 2 to 3 weeks. This one sold for $22.99 plus shipping. Nice little sale right there. IG, I'm going to close you guys down because I can't see chat over there. I don't know why it's not working, but hop over to Facebook or YouTube and finish out the live over there. Just in case I get another call on my phone. I don't know why Instagram comments weren't working today for some reason. That was a little weird. Anyways, back to shipping. Throw this right into a gyro pack and ship this out. If you guys have any questions, last minute questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I only got one more item to ship after this, so be a good time to get those questions. No such thing as a stupid question, so even if you think it's a basic everyday question and you don't want to ask it, feel free to, because I've probably been asked it 10, 15, 20 times, so I will answer it for you. And last sale is a good sale. This is another item that we picked up at TJ Maxx and Marshall's, something that most people would probably skip over, but I decided to pick it up because it was a big and tall size. So this is a men's Brooks Brothers 3XL t-shirt. As you can see, has the tag right there in the back. And I picked this up for only $13. $13 for this. It sat for a little bit, but finally sold. Obviously, this season is when these are selling. This one sold for $44.99 plus shipping. There's an item that you can pick up at TJ Maxx on clearance and flip for a really, really good profit. Question, do you keep your items inventoried for taxes by each individual item's cost of goods? No, I do a flat cost of goods for the year. So everything I bought in that fiscal year goes as my cost of goods for those items. If I sell that item in the next year, technically that item doesn't have a cost of goods because I already used it for the previous year. Again, talk to your tax advisor. They'll give you better advice on which one of those you should use, which one of those methods you should use. I just like using all the same purchases within that year goes on that year's cost of goods, because then I can just go through all my transactions on my cards and figure out exactly what my cost of goods was for the year. Super easy to do. Do you get a lot of returns? No, although yesterday I got 3 returns opened up in one day. It's been like 2 weeks since I had a return opened, and then yesterday, like bing, 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 3 returns in a row. But it's just a cost of doing business. I mean, I shipped out probably 20 packages today. If I get 3 returns every 2 weeks, it's barely any of my sales are returns. So, and like something like on Whatnot, I never get a return on Whatnot. We sold 250 items on Saturday, so it really just depends on where you sell. Almost all my returns come from eBay sales. Mr. Ralph Lauren show, did you sell the whole pallet? No, Saturday. Go bookmark Saturday show. We still have a bunch of men's and women's left over. Still really, really good stuff left over too, so make sure you go bookmark that show. We're probably going to do lots of sudden death like we did. We're going to try to sell off everything. Also, I do have some Polo Bear pieces that I have in my own inventory that I'm probably going to bring to that show. And I also bought some Purple Label off of Erica's Whatnot show that I'll probably bring to this show too. So not only will we have everything racked up from the buy, but we'll also have Polo Bear items, and we're also going to have some Purple Label items too that we're going to be running. Just got on your live. Is Nifty working yet? Yes, I will show you how to cross list really quick, because for some reason it was down until just after the live yesterday. Literally when I cut the live is when it started working again. So it must have been down for maintenance for a little bit. But if you want to watch me cross list items, so I just literally I listed all of these items this morning, and I brought them over to Nifty. So basically what I did was I hit resync, Actually, I think I have one item that I can bring over right now. So I'm gonna hit quick sync really quick. You're gonna see that it's gonna bring over the singular listing. And then once it does, we're gonna cross list it. Make it really easy. Do you ever make a video doing measurements with certain items for peeps new to the biz? I haven't made a video. Typically I answer those on live. So if you need a specific item to know what the measurements are, I can help you with that. What is your new item? What is your new item to thrift item ratio? I have no clue. I'd have to look it up, but I'd say about 85% of what I have listed currently on eBay is thrifted inventory. All right, so 3 listings were brought over, so I must have done 3 listings after. 3 listings were brought over. 1, 2, and 3 were brought over. I'm going to go to the second page, so that way this page will be blank. I'll do that later. So boom, 3 items at the top. We're going to cross list this men's William Murray polo really quick. Men's William Murray, you can see all the information was brought over from eBay. Everything is correct down here. Men's size small. As you can see, it says men's size small up here. Men's size small. We're good to go. We're going to cross list that to Poshmark. Gives it like 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds. It's cross listed. We're going to bring that item to Mercari. Brand on Mercari. I doubt William Murray is actually on Mercari. Yeah, it's not on Mercari, so that's why it's not in here in the brands list. You don't need it anyway. You're going to list that to Mercari. Again, it takes less than 10 seconds to get that over to Mercari. And then we're going to cross list this to Depop. We're going to scroll to the bottom. If all this information was right on the Poshmark listing, it'll always be right on the other listings, so you don't have to worry about it. Again, William Murray is not a brand on Depop. I wish they would put all the brands in, but they don't. And we're just going to hit list to Depop. And now that item has been moved over to all 3 platforms. I listed on eBay, downloaded the listing, and cross-listed it to the other platforms, and it took that long to do so. Super quick and easy to do. You have a video about your whatnot setup looks like for live sale. I am going to make a video about that. I don't know how many people are. I guess there's a lot of people becoming more interested in whatnot, which is really cool because I want to make content for whatnot, but I also wanted to not like blend that into the eBay content because I got a lot of eBay viewers over there, and like within the last like couple months there's a lot of people interested in selling on whatnot, whereas before that people hated whatnot. A lot of sellers were like, there's no point in doing whatnot, you're never going to be able to grow there, I don't want to see information on it, and they would like just not watch the videos. But I think nowadays people are really becoming interested in it, so I am going to make some more whatnot content, and I will do a whole like how to set up a live and everything, and how to do like a random pool show versus a fully loaded show. I am going to make that video because I think a lot of people are interested in it now. With Nifty, are you listing first? Yes, I'm listing to eBay, downloading the listing into Nifty, and then cross-listing. The reason I do that is because I want to make my eBay listing perfect. And Nifty will do that for me, but I want to do it on eBay, make sure it's perfect. It's also easier for us to list on eBay first. We're just routinely been doing that forever, so I don't really want to change that routine. And then 2, when I download the listing into Nifty, I don't use any credits. The download takes no credits, but if you list on Nifty on all 4 platforms, within Nifty, you're using 4 credits, and I'm only using 3 because I downloaded the eBay. Is it really your only source of income? Do you have a second job? This is my only source of income. Social media and reselling is my only source of income. I don't have like another job that I go to during the day. It'd be kind of hard to work another job because you guys see me early in the morning. Sometimes you see me later at night. I would have to like fit that into my schedule and still be able to load up shows and all that. So yes, this is my only source of income. I used to work at the post office. We don't have any like, I don't have any like house income, like, I don't have any other income. Yes. You don't do any hashtags? No, I don't do any hashtags. I'm interested in what? You're interested in Nifty? If you're interested in Nifty, I'll drop the link again down below. It's a 7-day free trial. Again, feel free to use it for 7 days. Super easy to use. And then you'll save 15% off your first month when you decide to go with Nifty with the link that's in the live right now. And Facebook, you should be getting that here shortly. There you go. It's in the live right now for you. Free trial, again, 7 days. I think it makes you put in your credit card. Again, it doesn't charge your credit card until you actually sign up for a subscription. So it's just a way for them to have it already in there. So then when you want to subscribe, you just press subscribe and it charges your card. Thinking about trying whatnot, so it'd be great. Okay, yeah, cool. I'll make more whatnot videos. Yeah, we're working on getting more pallets too. Talking back and forth with the guy I did the deal with, and he's trying to find. We're probably going to find another source because I don't really like the inventory quality that we got on this one. I like Polo Ralph Lauren. I just don't like the fact that all of these have clip tags. I don't like that. I want to sell brand new with tag inventory, even if I have to pay up for it a little bit, because I don't want to be known for selling items that have clip tags and stuff like that. I get it. I get why Ralph Lauren does it because they don't want to have the items returned. 100% get it. But there is ways to source Ralph Lauren without having clip tags, and you just have to go through other outlets. And I think that's what we're going to work on. So it might be a little bit before we get another pallet, or it might be really quickly. It just depends on how fast we can find another source. So. Have you ever tried Flip prior to Nifty? No, I've heard really, really bad things about Flip. Flip is basically free. Very, very cheap. I think it's like $9 a month or something like that. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's free. Use it, use it," and then they started charging people for it, and that charge is only going to go up as they start growing out that platform. You're going to get charged more and more for it. It doesn't. I don't think it has a posh bot. It doesn't have delist relist. It doesn't have an inventory manager. The cross listing is not that good. I don't think it has auto sales detection. It's like the lowest of the low when it comes to cross listing. That is like the bottom of the barrel cross lister. So yeah, here forever now. That's your rep. Shut up, Surfs. Why are you still here? Don't you have like something else to do? Shouldn't you be live? Don't people want to see you like live thrift again? Like, what are you doing in my life? Don't you have stuff to do? Don't you have like? Do you want to watch me do a video of me burning this, Surfs? I think I might do that. I think I might. I might start burning this stuff. Shut up, Surfs. Get out of here. All right, that's it for today. Appreciate you guys hanging out. I have to get out of here because Surfs is bullying me, and I don't like it. He's gonna make me cry on camera, and I don't want to cry. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. I might be live tomorrow morning doing another shipping live. It really just depends on what we're doing. Kids are home for spring break this week, so this week is kind of a different week for us. So you might see us live more often than usual because we're probably not going to go thrifting as we usually do because of the kids being home. We will be live thrifting on Thursday for sure on Whatnot because we like doing that. So we're going to do live thrifting on Whatnot. And then Saturday we have a big show. I might do a pop-up live tomorrow afternoon with just like 50 items on Whatnot. It'll be all of our inventory. It's just like a clear out show, getting rid of some stuff that we don't have listed around the house. So yeah, look out for that. If I end up doing that, that'll be a pop-up show. So yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out, and we will catch you